All right, YouTube. So the video down below is NeoCon Max Boot going against Professor Stephen Cohen. He's like an expert in Russia, so they're kind of going at it because Max Boot was basically saying, Trump didn't do a good enough job of attacking Putin at the summit, the Helsinki summit, and Stephen Cohen basically comes out and says, "Well, look, when you talk like that, you're basically vilifying and demonizing, different types of foreign policy. So the approach that Trump is taking has been criminalized because they're saying, well, he's not being tough enough on Russia and all that stuff." And Max Boot was basically saying as well, like, oh, he threatens China, North Korea, almost in the most literal sense, threatening them with nuclear war. Iran as well, but he never threatens Russia. And then Stephen Cohen's basically calling him out on that, saying that's obviously a very neoconish thing to say. He didn't really say it like that. He said it more politely. But yeah, this Max Boot guy, he's total butt buddies with David Frum and the rest of them. He's a total neocon. I'm sure he's got dual citizenship to Israel as well. And yeah, it's like these types of people, the neocons like Max Boot, they hate Trump. They absolutely hate Trump because he's trying to, derail the whole endless cycle of war, which, who could blame him? Any sane person who listens to their own constituents, the American people in this instance, with Trump, he's basically doing the popular thing, the populist. It's the populist approach. So I think it's working out really well. I think that a lot of people get a little uneasy when he threatens North Korea and threatens Iran. Iran, however you pronounce it, but I think it's it's paid off. It got North Korea to the tables, and I believe Trump wants to meet with the what's his name, Rouhani of Iran, the head mullah, or sorry, I don't know these the correct terms, imam or one of those terms. But anyways, I've heard that Trump wants to meet with him, and I've heard that on the news and everything. People are saying reports are saying that Trump wants to meet with Rouhani. So they hate him because he's trying to at least entertain the ideas of peace and peace talks. And with the neocons, they're in bed with the military-industrial complex, and God knows they always need war. And I'm sure Stephen Cohen would know a lot about the Bolshevik Revolution as well, being an expert in Russia. And that was a very dark time too, the Bolshevik Revolution. So, as I understand it, it was basically the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds. They were funding both sides, and they were connected with Wall Street somehow. And there's a really good book and there's actually a lecture here on YouTube as well. It's called the Wall Street and the Bolshevik Revolution, I believe. Anyways, Gary Arnold, he's mentioned it a lot. He's a conservative here in Santa Cruz and talks a lot about the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds. Anyways, basically, yeah, the Bolsheviks, they were funded by both sides were funded by the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, basically so they'd wipe each other out. Very dark times, but this is kind of the whole mechanism, I guess, of the military-industrial complex. It doesn't really matter who they're funding. It just, they need to have people buying the guns and killing each other. It's in a way, it's controlled genocide. Kind of how they go out and they burn trees so they don't, cause, so there's no, future fires, I guess. It's the same concept, I guess, except it's with people. So the, the morality behind it, a lot of people, I guess, most people, in my opinion, would have a strong objection to that. So, all right, that's a pretty good take. I'm going to end it on that. But yeah, Max Boot, David Frum, Bill Kristol, all these neocons, their days are numbered. They've skated into power and they've been there for so long, and now Trump is there. He's shaking things up. He's draining the swamp, and they're really starting to panic. I guess they're feeling that their oxygen supply is getting cut off, and that's the reason why they're going out. They're screaming and basically, making fools of themselves. So, in a lot of ways, Trump is actually doing the right thing by not even encouraging these people to shut up. Because in a lot of ways, these people are their worst own enemies, or their own worst enemies. Yeah. Like Maxine Waters, she can continue to babble on and encourage violence and everything. And wasn't there a GOP guy that got a congressional candidate that got hurt? And just Maxine Waters. I'm not saying that she personally ordered the attack, but she basically normalized that type of behavior, and she was encouraging it by giving her little speech. Excuse me. Talking about going out there and getting up in their face and all that. Yeah, she's just a bad person. Honestly, she really is. All right, guys. God bless, and I will see you later.